Welcome to part 14 of Yakuza 0, and in this episode, we're going to finally befriend the stop and search guy. Now, why are we doing this? Because he's going to play an integral part in chapter 5. Well, not in the story, but rather in the sub-stories. The really big sub-story in chapter 5. But nonetheless, once again, you show a non-dangerous item to the stop and search guy. And he will pretty much tell you a sad story that he honestly doesn't think that he's fit to be a police officer, that he's only good for stop and searches. And the reason being, his partner died in action, and there was nothing he can do. On that note, this is a man who basically had some sort of past trauma because of his partner dying. So for the most part, he wanted to be like his partner. However, when his partner died in the line of fire right in front of him, he basically has been traumatized and only been doing stop and searches for quite some time. Well, actually he got stabbed, not shot, but still. And the thing is, he bled out. Even though he tried to call for backup, he bled out because the knife hit an artery. So now, he's been, again, traumatized. Now, folks need to understand, police officers, whether you like them or not, have to do some really unsavory shit that keeps them up at night and possibly scares them, forcing them to probably go to psychological eval. Well, yes, they will do anything to save people from criminals. Thing is, they have seen some shit, and let's be honest with you, they need all the psychological treatment that they could possibly need. So with that said, we just need to talk to him one last time, so I'll be right back. I just gotta go around town. Anyway, now we're back. And there's the stop and frisk guy for the last time. And unlike before, you don't have to actually give him an item because he's thinking about quitting the force. Primarily because the story that he told him just opened up old wounds, and yeah, he's basically done. He feels dejected, and I don't blame him. You watch your partner die and be helpless all your life and traumatized, you'd probably be dejected too. It doesn't matter if it's a canine unit or a real-life human being. A life is a life. And you would be pretty sad and shaken up if something ever happens to you. Or someone you know ends up dying right in front of you. So, with that said, he feels himself to be a disgrace. However, just because he's retiring doesn't mean that's going to stop crime from happening. Oh, you'll see in just a second. But for right now, again, he's wallowing in his sorrows. So, with that said, he is dead set on quitting the force. I can't believe Kiryu is actually trying to convince a cop not to quit the force, considering of what he used to be. Well, that's a part 6, he's no longer Yakuza, but still. And, oh, right. There's the crime I was referring to. And these guys are literally trying to pay her $30,000 to, they actually think she's a prostitute, by the way. That poor girl. Looks like we're gonna have to pony up and whoop these guys' ass. And wow. This man is doing stop and searches while a girl is about to be taken off and raped. We gotta do something about that. So I guess there's no choice then. Kiryu's gonna have to fight this on his own because he is just, again, traumatized. So with that said, we probably will have to snap him out of it by literally talking down to him for trying to do a stop and search while a kidnapping or a rape or worse is in progress. Well, either that or Kiryu's gonna have to unleash his own brand of justice, and that is punching people in the face. The best brand of justice you could ever possibly bring to hoodlums who wants to do harm to a woman. Oh, excuse me 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry. My delivery for hot tea and soup came in. Well, I guess DoorDash is actually a really good site, and then again, sometimes they can get your order wrong. But nonetheless, we're gonna have to fight these guys, but before they do, however, Kiryu is about to get stabbed. And then Kikuchi is having flashbacks. Flashbacks of basically his partner trying to stop punks, and they stabbed him in the back. So, basically, Kukichi is going to join us into the fight of beating up these punks. And the fact that these guys were basically going to have a smile on their face the moment Kiryu died. Oh, these guys definitely deserves an ass whooping. So, he's about to go and unleash a brand of justice of his own with his fist. Uh-oh. It's time for to go and open up a can of whoop ass. So now we got ourselves partners. Now here's the thing in Yakuza 0. Well, yes, you have an NPC hitting you out. I'm trying to say, yes. Okay. Brain fart and bit my tongue. As I was saying, and yes, you have a partner backing you up. You can actually use a heat action to have your partner help you do a heat attack. And that's going to be later on in the game. But for right now, the NPC will have no health bar and will just take as much damage as humanly possible and do some beatdowns for you. However, later on, you will have partners coming to aid you, and when they do, you could do double team double team heat actions, which are pretty lethal and can do more damage because, of course, it's one person. Or more than one person. Wow, that guy is literally lying in a pool of... Oh, I just got stabbed. I was about to say that guy was lying in a pool of his own blood. But that's okay. This guy's about to die too. And the police officer took out the last one. So with that said, we teach these punks a lesson that they'll never forget. Yeah. Go home. Try to stab somebody in the back. Punk ass bitches. Ever catch you on the street again, I'll beat you up worse. And now, thanks to that, Kikuchi, is now fully confident to be an officer again and has changed his mind. Yes, folks, Kiryu, a Yakuza, just convinced a cop to not quit the force. I wouldn't say it's weird shit, but it's in the neighborhood. To be fair, not all Yakuza are bad. Just the ones that actually do hurt people for a living. There are some Yakuza that actually do something for the community. But criminal organization's still a criminal organization. And some of them can actually turn around a new leaf. Case in point, Kiryu. However, thanks to what has happened, Kikuchi can now go back to not only doing stop and searches, but pretty much start going back to becoming a regular officer again. But don't worry, this is the last time he's going to do a stop and search because we pretty much completed the friendship with him. And as such, Kikuchi will be one of the allies that will show up to watch your back in Part 5 whenever you're doing any fights. So bear that in mind. Oh, and we also saved this lady's life. Keep notice of her because, well, aside from the sacrifice stone she gives you, keep notice of her because her model gets reused again. Albeit for a different reason. Well, Yakuza tends to reuse models of certain people anyway. Like they reuse the models of the punks and try to give them new names and stuff like that. It's typical for an RPG that NPCs and also enemies get like color swapped or palette swapped, but whatever the case, that lady, you will recognize her face again because after all, she is in the she's actually in the wrestling minigame that actually shows up. So in case anybody is wondering, that wrestling minigame is going to actually show up around the 6th or 7th chapter of this game. And primarily, you're betting money on chicks. Well, we just got him friendshipped, but anyway, you're betting money on chicks fighting amongst themselves, and that may get you money provided your chick wins. So that's basically what that is. And now we're starting another side quest, which is the Sushi Jin. I mean, yeah, I can actually befriend the guy, but I'm gonna do that later because I'm gonna need to get like a pole in order for me to do that. Because once I get to the halfway point of his friendship, I'm going to need to fish in order for to actually complete the rest of his friendship. But by starting this by buying something from Sushi Jin, sorry, I was getting a little bit confused here, I ended up starting a sub-story. Like how this sushi chef is basically got, creator's block. And he thinks the sushi's pretty awesome, and he wants to try to make some new stuff. Which is why I said I'm going to have to wait until I get more money, because this guy requires you to actually go out, fish, give him the fish, he'll make the fish, and that's going to be added to the menu. Yeah, you understand, right? This is why I haven't gotten, most, if not all, of the side quests here, because some of them have prerequisites, some of them need money. I haven't done Pocket Fighter Racer because of the fact that he's gonna need money. We already ended the sub-story, but he's practically going to need a lot of money and time and investment in order for us to actually get like a good number of parts from Pocket Fighter Racer just to make the ultimate Pocket Racer in order for you to actually beat all the races. And yes, I just beat up a Nove Rich just for no apparent reason other than the fact he's there and he gives me money. Let's see how much. I only got 6. So I guess I'm gonna have to go for Money Magnet. Oh, damn it! I needed 10. Damn, I needed 10. I guess I'm gonna have to go for Gotta Go Fast 3. But I do not have Cash Confetti just yet. You get that from a side quest, by the way. So let's move back over to Sushi Jin. I'm going to try to at least get the friendship as close to half as humanly possible, because once I get enough money, I'm going to finish the rest of it later. Oh, sorry, I have something in my throat. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, something really was in my throat. And didn't want to, deal with that on camera, so I just got finished eating at the sushi place, and I just need to make that like halfway before we have to start fishing. And speaking of fishing, this is where you get, actually no, I think it's Don Quixote where you get the rod, but while the rod itself is 50 million yen, there are some Pocket Racer parts that happen to be with this guy right here. And all you have to do is tell this man the password. The problem is, you can't hear the password because the game purposely went there and omitted some of the words. So now we're going to have to go through the trouble of actually finding the password. But first, let's talk to the dude and then start this whole quest. Oy. And so far we talked to 80 people, which is pretty cool. And now we just need to talk to 20 more to get another a completion point. I keep calling it character points. I need to stop doing that. But whatever the case, you have to go through trouble to actually use the password to go get some really good stuff. So now you're gonna have to find the guy who just used the password. He's the guy that has the password, and we're gonna have to talk to him. You'd think it'd be that easy, right? Wrong. It's not gonna be that easy, because if it was, well, this wouldn't be a game, now would it? And speaking of which, the guy you're looking for is right here. He just went up the street. So, he's going to put you through some hell for in order to get to the password, basically. And he's going to tell you to meet with one of his contacts. So what you're going to do is listen to what he has to say. Because he's going to tell you he's going to tell you like a special code word for yeah, say tell me the password at least. And he will tell you that you're going to have to go through hell in order to get it. And the job is simple. All you have to do is go to Taihei Boulevard and find a contact named Monmon, yes. And you have to tell the two things is how's the weather and plans for tomorrow. Those are the only two things you need to tell her. Anything else, you're probably going to fail. So with that said, head straight to Taihei Boulevard. And I had to skip a battle with the punks. Because after all, it's just a battle with punks. But it doesn't matter because you're going to be fighting something, well, equally as bad as punks. And the lady right there, that's Mon Mon. You give her the words that you were just told to tell her, which was, how's the weather and plans for tomorrow? So, or should I say plans for today and tomorrow's weather? So now, before you answer, you're going to have to fight the Yakuza. Or should I say, the Mafia. Which, quite frankly, there's no discernible difference to the two. They have a code of honor, they have family, and more importantly, they have a ranking system. There's no discernible difference from the Mafia and the Yakuza and the Triad while we're at it. But whatever the case, all of them are armed. Every last one of them. So these guys are going to be tough. One's got a stun gun, the other one's got a stun gun pole, the other one has a wooden katana, and the other one has a knife. Either way, you've got the Mafia to deal with. These guys can be tough. Yeah, be careful of the guy with the taser. If you have a prompt to actually disarm him, by all means do so. Ooh! Ooh! I went there and accidentally broke the, I broke the taser, but that's okay. I got something just as good. Boom, 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 and dead. Alright, now that the Mafia has been defeated, now Mon Mon will tell you what the plans for tomorrow and well, plans for today and tomorrow's weather, basically. That was practically a test to see if you could actually carry out this mission without any problems. And you're going to have to tell the guy who started this movie date and it's raining. That's the option you want to choose. So from there, we're going to have to go all the way back and deal with that guy. And he will give you the password eventually. So with that said, let's head over back to where we found the guy. Alright, we've gotten through the easy part. Now for the hard part. We're going to have to get the password. Well, getting the password is not the hard part. The hard part is the password itself. So, with that said, we'll have to wait till this guy actually does his thing. And by the way, tell him a movie date and rain at noon. That's what you tell him. And the only reason why he went there and recruited you for this, because you practically look like a gangster. So that's the only reason why he did this. And more importantly, Kiryu inadvertently had helped out with a smuggling ring. And that's basically all that is. So now, as Kiryu waits, you'll finally get the password. And now the hard part comes in. And by the way, you end up getting a broken M1 an M15 rifle. Basically, it's a broken shotgun. That's what it is. So the password is Subo Tenu Hige Ukiro. I know that sounded a little bit off because I was trying to read it as fast as I can. It's Subo Tenu Hige Ukuro. And make sure you capitalize the S. The only reason why I say it's hard because it's a lot of goddamn letters. Also, I need to bring up one thing. If you haven't already beaten Yakuza 0, then that will not be saved in your PS4 or Xbox One list of names. But if you have, it'll be saved. So that'll make things a little bit easier. Why I say that's the hard part? Because of the fact of you having to write down that particular password and actually remember it. Because you're going to misspell it if you don't write it down. Oh, and by the way, I'm just completely curb stomping the punks. That's all. They're just in the way, and I went there and got myself something brand new. Hopefully it's a plate. And, oh, it's contact lenses. Okay, I guess I could use that. Sort of. So now, tell this guy the password. So you'll be able to unlock this store permanently. Thankfully, you only have to do this once. And by the way, it's not showing me spelling out the password. So Kiryu's just standing there looking stupid. So yeah, that's basically why he's standing there. Because right now I'm actually putting in the password via the PlayStation keyboard. So they're not going to show the keyboard in the middle of gameplay. Other than that, once you've done the password, he's going to, if it's correct, he's going to give you a correction sign. And that's what's supposed to be said. Alright. Now that we got the password, now we have access to a good number of things. Very expensive things, but a good number of things. And I had to do this primarily for Pocket Fighter Racer, because there's some good parts that cost a lot of money that happens to be in his possession. And also, you have a katana that's there as well. So, you're going to only be able to put that in once, and after that, every time, you just walk up and he'll just tell you you just tell him what the password is. By the way, there are also some fish here. And if you have enough money, you could go on ahead and buy them. It would be in your best interest to do that. But whatever the case, I'm going to go on ahead and also get these parts right here. Which, by the way, is a side stabilizer 3.0 and a torque motor, a high torque motor 2.0. And I need that, again, for Pocket Fighter Racer. So, with that said, this is RVMan985. I'll see you all in the next episode, where we finally end Chapter 2. Yeah, we spent at least, I would say, 6 parts here. But at the exact same time, at least we'll be done.